cameras, because it brings me on to the next story. Have you seen this robo camera that they've got in Morrisons? Morrisons supermarket, where they say they've had terrible problems with shoplifting.
Yes.
They're now putting these robo cameras in which can film people as they're shopping. And they put it in particularly in the alcohol aisle, apparently, where people just nick stuff all the time. There it is. I think it's quite a good idea, actually.
It's a great idea.
It saves, because they say it's working. They say fewer people are now actually nicking things because they see that they're on film, as opposed to wondering whether there's a camera somewhere.
Yes.
And it means you don't have to have people actually trying to stop people leaving. Yeah. You don't have to have violent episodes.
Or to actually have employees in a supermarket.
Well, yeah,
we might actually have staff.
Well, I mean, it would be nice to have employees at the tills, but you shouldn't have to, as an employee of a supermarket, wrestle somebody to the ground who's trying to run off with a bottle of Jack Daniels. You know
you can work even with a dummy one. You can work. So what they've worked out is.
I assume that's what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I walked out of the local supermarket with that just this afternoon.
Well, we love it.
Nobody stopped me.
It's a great discovery. I went to Lithuania fairly recently, and the whole thing, there was one particular store, which is all cameras, no staff at all, and you pick up an item from the thing, and it basically electronically tells you got your branding.
So it's like a vending machine.
It's like a vending machine.
Giant vending machine.
And you have cameras everywhere, and it basically will do that. That is the future of retail, and the honesty as a result of it is tremendous. And what they're saying with this retail stuff...
Well, it's all very middle class, though, Andrew. I mean, it's all very well to go into...
Well, I went to Lithuania.
Well, you know, I love taking my shopping and I just pay for it.
Yes.
A lot of people would say that is an opportunity to just rip everything off.
Well, but they monitor
paying.
it, and there are hotels now. If you pick up your bag of peanuts, they know you've picked up your peanuts. You don't have to tick the honesty box anymore.
Right.
And all of that is going to be the future of retail. So the idea, as you know, I speak around the world as a futurist saying what's going to happen.
Yes.
It's exactly that. You're going to get fewer and fewer actual people. It's all going to be done with cameras and robots and so on.
And you know what they're doing? It's like in Japan, they have robots that look like people. I mean, they don't look like people, but you can almost amorthize them. They've got things that look like eyes and things that look like bodies. And they reckon that's going to really inspire people to not shoplift, because they feel like they're being either looked at by a human being or they feel sorry for the little creature. Their heart goes out to this little creature. Well, and as a result, they're not shoplifting.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Don't we have to, not to be the sort of bleeding heart liberal here, but don't we have to kind of ask the question of why there are such high levels of shoplifting? Because I'm not convinced that it's, I'm not convinced that it's that everybody's poor and therefore they must turn to shoplifting.
It's because they can. It's because they can.
Well, but then you get into kind of misanthropic territory where you're saying unless we're being watched by some, I have to say, quite rudimentary-looking box, very British robot, that. So it doesn't really look like...
Doesn't do much.
But, you know, that we will only behave if we're being CCTV'd.
Unfortunately, I still
like
maintain that if only you could go back to having a supermarket that had tills and that had people manning those tills. One of the biggest iniquities of the whole of the the last generation has been self-service tills. Where, you know, unexpected item in the baggage area is the bane of everyone's life. And there are so many people, and I have watched them around me, and they just think to themselves, you know what? I'm shopping, I'm paying you money, and now you're telling me I've got to go through the whole thing of checking it out as well.
Right. And
so actually I'm going to take
shopping is a leisure activity for a lot of people, and they want to have that interaction with people.
Well, think about this rise in loneliness. There are so many elderly people wandering around supermarkets trying to stay warm. They actually just want to have a conversation with people.
And interestingly, that's where AI and robotics are really going to help. Because in terms of companionship, the rise, joking aside, the rise of things like AI girlfriends is tremendous. And they did some research. The University of California...
This conversation's taken a strange turn.
The University of California said that chatting to ChatGPT was more empathetic than chatting to your GP because you can't get hold of them, and they've got longer time to do it. So the rise of companionship in AI and robotics is going to be tremendous.
And it's also a very particular type of attachment. there is a sense in which it's very positive at reinforcement.
Yes, absolutely.
But I still don't think that that's going to stop you shoplifting. What you need are more people manning the tills.
What you actually need is a robot that goes shopping for you. Oh, they already have it. You just call them up or you order it online and they bring it to your house.
It's true.
My husband.
Job done.
You could do that.
All you need now is somebody to take the rubbish away.
Yes.
You've got them as well.
Okay.
It's not as bad as you think, you know.
Well, we need an ITV drama to sort.
I love it. That's the one, definitely.
Recycling in 3 parts.
Thank you.
The brilliant independent Republican Mike Graham.